Hey guys, it's Weston here. So today we're going to be reviewing the Rippl-TV, which is an Android-based TV system. So before I start, I'd just like to say thank you to Patuoxun for sending this out to review. So let's start off with the design and then we'll talk more about specs and stuff later on. So overall, it's a pretty unusual design. So on the front, you can see we've got a small raindrop. So this illuminates when it's powered on, which you'll probably see when I demo it later on. So the unit itself is black and you can just see the ripple effect on the top. So looking closer at the top, you can just see the ripple again and just see how sort of visual it is. And it's actually all raised and dented into the thing, so it actually looks like a drop of water has hit it and made a ripple effect, which is really cool. So looking on the side, we've got a port for expansion, so you can add additional storage to the inbuilt, which I will talk more about later on. Underneath we've got some cutouts for the cooling, so it is cooled, so don't worry about it getting hot because I've never noticed it once getting over hot or anything, which is really cool. On the back you've got your I/O, so we've got quite a selection of different ports on here, so I'm just going to run through them all and what they do. So far left we've got two USB, so here you can add peripherals, storage expansion, so that can be either hard drive or by USB. There we've got HDMI, so that obviously is where you get your video from, so you connect that to your TV with a supplied HDMI cable. In the middle we've got Ethernet, so if your Wi-Fi connection isn't that brilliant you can have a wired connection. Here we've got your audio. So we've got an AV and an optical out. So if your TV doesn't carry audio through the HDMI, you're pretty much covered there. And then finally, we've got a port for your power. So this is where you plug in the power supply that comes included. Right, so now we get onto the specifications, and it's quite a long list. So the operating system is based on Android 4.4 KitKat. The CPU is an Amlogic S802 quad-core Cortex A9R4 clocked at 2 GHz. The GPU is an octa-core Mali 450MP. It has 2 GB of DDR3 RAM, 8 GB on-built storage. The wireless connectivity is 802.11 and that is B, G and N. And it also can support dual-band Wi-Fi at 2.4 GHz and 5.8 GHz. It also has Bluetooth 4.0. So video output is done by HDMI 1.4a. Audio output is done either by HDMI or optical. The max resolution of this is 4K, but it can also stream 2K, 1080p and lower as well. The network interface is an RJ45 Ethernet jack, which can cope to speeds between 10 and 100 meg. Via the expansion, we can handle a card up to 32 gig for additional storage. Via the USB, we can handle a hard drive up to 2 TB. Video sharing is done by DLNA, AirPlay, Miracast, WIDI, DMR, and DMS. So now we get onto the size. So this is 13 centimeters by 13 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, and it weighs in at 686 grams. So now you've seen the list of specs, and it was quite a long list. How do all the specs affect the Ripple's performance? Well, for me, performance was a mixed bag. Flowing and navigating around the UI is really smooth. There's no lag or anything, and everything just looks and feels really nice there. The remote input is pretty good as well, so there's no delay there either. But the performance, like I said, around the UI is really smooth. The only issue I have found is loading apps like the internet browser and stuff like BBC iPlayer and Demand 5 can take a little bit long to load. I suppose this is because they're not properly optimized and they don't really work that well on a TV box. Apps like YouTube, however, though, do seem to work really well, and the optimization seems to be a little bit better there. So depending on which apps you put onto the system is gonna vary your experience. So now we get onto streaming, and streaming is really good. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any decent footage because of my camera, and something to do with the shutter speed and the refresher rate and the TV and stuff like that were just not compatible with each other, so the footage doesn't look great on camera. but in person it's brilliant. I mean, it looks just as good, if not better, than on my 1080p monitor, what I use on a daily basis on my PC. So to stream 1080p video off that, I've noticed that you're going to need between sort of like 12 meg and higher to get a really fluid stream with no buffering or any lag or any artifacts or anything. To stream 4K, you'll probably need somewhere in the region of 30 plus. So you're looking at fibre broadband from probably something like TalkTalk, Sky, Virgin Media to get 4K really smooth. Unfortunately, I don't have the internet or a TV to test the 4K on, so unfortunately I've not been able to test that as much as I'd have really loved to. But like I said, 1080p streams perfect and looks very nice as well. So it's a big thumbs up in terms of that. Now streaming via sort of your TV apps and stuff like that is a little bit of an issue. And I'm presuming this is because, like I said already, they're not optimised properly. You're not going to utilise 1080p there. But like I said, if you watch YouTube a lot, that's perfect. Right, so now we get on to the verdict. So what do I think of the TV box? Well, it's got its good points. I mean, it's got loads of features. You can add peripherals to it. The box itself looks pretty nice as well. It's not the nicest TV box I've seen, but it's very nice. It streams very capably. The interface could be doing with a little bit worked on. Stuff like the settings menus and stuff like that just look exactly the same as what they do on a phone, and I think more effort could have been put there to make it more fluid and fitting in with the rest of the sort of aesthetic of the UI. So it's just little things like that that go against the Rippl TV. Also, another thing to note is the price as well. The price of this, the last time I checked, and I will put our current price in the description, was around £100. Now, for that sort of money, you can get a Roku, a Google Nexus player, Amazon Fire TV, and Google Chromecast, which all do pretty much exactly the same as what the Rippl does, but for less money. So arguing its case is really quite difficult when you look at the competition out there. Right guys, so that just about wraps up the video for today. So like I said, the Rippl TV does have its good points. It has quite a few bad points as well, which if you've seen the demo video, you'll have probably seen it's a bit of a nightmare in the navigation department. But overall, I mean, it's not a bad TV box. It is, like I said, expensive. And if you are looking for an Android TV box, then look at the alternatives first. If they don't offer what you want, then maybe give the Rippl a consideration. If I can find it cheaper than £100, I'll link it down in the description as well. Right guys, so that is it for my review. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't checked out the demo I did, I will link that in the description as well, so you can see what the UI and stuff looks like properly. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all on the very next one.